Bart absolutely lived for wrestling in the 80s and the 90s.
And early 2000s.
And even in early 2000s. You'll remember he got ankle locked by Kurt Angle. He tapped out. Get me out of here. I'm done.
I could have torn my MCL.
I quit. Get me out of here. But nonetheless, Bart is through and through one of the biggest wrestling fans there are. So we have given him this platform to give you his 5 greatest wrestlers who were football players.
Okay, well, start off, first of all, I have to always have an honorable mention on my list before we go to the countdown. So
all right.
Just before everything else, let's give an honorable mention to Steve McMichael, former Chicago Bears Super Bowl champion. He was a great wrestler. He came in, didn't really have any gimmicks, but he was pretty good. So let's go with Steve McMichael for honorable mention.
And he's battling it right now in his personal battle down the stretch, as he has been somebody that was out in front, and McMichael is now, if I'm not mistaken, he is dealing with ALS. And it's such a very sad thing to have to go through and a very difficult thing to have to go through. So we're keeping a good thought for Steve McMichael. He was really good. And it was weird, too, when Deborah McMichael was Steve Austin's manager.
Yeah,
that got a little weird,
They always do that to cross marriage, because when I did get tapped out from Kurt Angle actually was marrying Jeff Jarrett and his wife.
Really?
His wife. He was marrying his wife to Jeff Jarrett. So we knew it was going to be some sparks going on. And Flair sent me down there, and Bischoff, they set me up, put a banana in the tailpipe. But anyway, let's get to the official list.
You can never trust Bischoff.
For number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5. One of the very few good things to ever come out of the Bungles organization, Flying Brian Pillman. He was electrifying. He was a high flyer guy that was a little bit like a poor man's Jimmy Superfly Snuka with better promos, because he actually could speak into the mic, not to the coconut. I think he had a short reign, but I tell you what, I love me some Flying Brian Pillman. That's my number 5.
All right, that's fair. I love Brian Pillman too. High flyer. Yes. Always loved the high flyers. My problem with the high flyers was they were never strong enough to really, really get it done.
Right, to knock down the big guy, just like little gnats, kind of like they'll knock them off their feet, they'll wobble them, but they never could do anything.
Exactly. Number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4, some people may know him as Big Daddy Ritter from his low days. Some people may know him by Sylvester Ritter. I just know him as J.Y.D., the Junkyard Dog. You talk about a guy that had a moment, a guy that was, captivated America, had the young kids coming in, doing Another One Bites the Dust, coming in, doing the dance, looking up to the crowd. Got the little dog coming out with the chains, man. He was electrifying. He had his moment where he became one of the most popular WWF at that time champions, man. But he played at Fayetteville University 2-time. Honorable mention. How the hell you honorable mention at Fayetteville, man? But anyway, I'm going to round it up. I'm going to give him some respect on his name. Junkyard Dog, a.k.a. JYD, a.k.a. Big Daddy Ritter, a.k.a. Sylvester Ritter, is my number 4.
Number 3.
I think that's Steve Austin's music. Roll with it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Number 3. I was on the fence, but then I watched some film this morning on this young man.
Bart actually watched film of this player as a football player before he ranked him. That's how seriously he took this.
And he had some shake and bake. He had some wiggle. I didn't know why he really didn't get a shot. I mean, I know he comes from wrestling royalty. The Lusos are his cousin. He goes by the name Roman Reigns, but people may remember him from Georgia Tech, Calvin Johnson's teammate, as Joseph Anoy. So I give it to Roman Reigns, man. Roman Reigns had a little wiggle, man. He has look, shake and bake.
2 years at Georgia Tech, 14.5 tackles for loss, 6.5 sacks.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
And he's the biggest star right now in the sport, basically, right?
He's holding the baton right now. He's going to be at SummerSlam. He's probably going to headline SummerSlam. He's going to be one of the biggest matches as he's fighting, you can't see me, John Cena, who just finished doing Suicide Squad, and he should have killed himself after the movie came out. I'm just playing. It was a good movie. I actually enjoyed it. It was better than the first one. I much rather Will Smith was in the first one. Right. I call him Avon Barksdale from The Wire, the other one. No, not Wood Harris, man. Come on, man.
Idris Elba?
Idris Elba, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's always a game of pyramid trying to figure out who you're talking about.
Give me this next one.
Number 2.
Number 2. I forgot what they called him in Miami, but he was an okay player. You know, he talks about all the time having to go to Canada, only having $2 in his pocket. And all he is become the number 1 movie star in all the world. No Denzel. La, 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 la. I think everybody smells what The Rock is cooking, and they love the aroma, man. I just watched Jungle Book. I just went and watched Jungle Book. This dude is like on everything. How can you be that swole? You doing something that's charming as Jungle Book. Like, you're supposed to be a little micro mini pimp doing Jungle Book. You ain't supposed to be 280 pounds, still ripped up at the age of 48, but he's got it done, man. And I tell you what, he's not only great on movies, every once in a while he goes back to the square circle to remind everybody to put some respect on his name, man. My number 2 is The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Won the national title there at University of Miami in 91 and had 4.5 sacks in his career, 39 games, 77 tackles.
Yeah, man. Once again, man, and nobody can touch my number 1.
Number 1.
It's only a couple of guys in the Florida State Hall of Fame retired. And I tell you, this guy, not only was he a great football player, he was equally as great as a wrestler. I mean, he brought you stuff like the Nation of Domination. And then after the Nation of Domination with D'Lo Brown and all those other dudes, he come up with one term, and everybody knows him by that term. Everybody knows me by Can't Wait, but they know this guy by Damn! Ron Simmons, man. You are the number 1 wrestler turned, or football player named wrestler turned wrestler for Root, Nation of Domination. Stand up. Damn!
2-time All-American, 25 sacks, 44 tackles for loss, college football Hall of Famer, the great Ron Simmons.
Hit that one more time. Again.